Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name's Naseem. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I stopped letting food control me and finally found food freedom. If you are new, I'm a mom to a 2-year-old. I have been documenting my postpartum weight loss journey a whole bunch here on my channel, so feel free to check out some of my previous videos. I do a lot of what I eat in a day. I've been sharing a lot about my training, my nutrition, overall what's kind of helped me with shedding weight, shedding that baby weight, and I've finally found this kind of sweet spot, how to feel my body right and having a really good relationship with food, because as long as I can remember, I have always dieted and I have always been in this constant binge and restrict cycle. So if that's you, if you feel like you have this food struggle where you have been just bouncing from one diet to the next, you are constantly dieting or trying a fad diet, this video is for you. Hopefully you find these tips helpful. I'm just kind of sharing my journey, my experiences, and overall kind of what's helped me with having a better relationship with food. So hopefully you find this video helpful. If you are new, again, would love for you to stick around, like this video, subscribe, and join the family. And without further ado, let's get right into today's topic. I didn't realize how much food consumed me and my thoughts until I hit this really low point. This was last year around, I would say, the fall kind of time frame where we had just moved into our new home. I was trying to manage balancing the household, work, taking care of a toddler. I was doing intermittent fasting. I was also very low carb, trying to follow a carnivore diet. I just hit a very low point with my health. I was struggling a lot with feeling energized. I was waking up feeling fatigued. I was feeling unmotivated, very low energy, which is very unlike me. And up until that point, I had always been, go, go, go. I remember always watching my son and not needing to take naps. I was chasing after him. Like, I felt great, but I just felt like something was wrong. I was not like myself. I was taking naps during the day. Ever since I can remember, I've had this like long history of, hopping on different trends, diets. I've tried the South Beach diet, I've tried the Atkins diet. I went from doing vegan, and I even documented that video here on my channel, and it's still up, where I was doing like plant-based for a really long time. So I've always kind of cycled through different diets. Last year when I ran my labs, and it turned out that I had low cortisol and low testosterone, I was dieting. I was doing intermittent fasting, and I was also doing the carnivore diet. So I just knew that there might be some type of correlation there. I just didn't know what. So I really wanted to try and rebalance my hormones naturally, as holistically as possible. But I didn't know where to start, and I didn't know who to talk to or who to reach out to at that point. I just knew I needed some professional help to kind of navigate everything. And I ultimately just wanted to feel like myself again. I wanted to rebalance my hormones. I wanted to have a better relationship with food. And I was just so sick and tired of bouncing from one fad diet to the next. Like, I just wanted to feel like I had control with food. I just wanted to feel like I had a positive relationship with food. I was just tired of constantly feeling like, okay, I can't eat this. I have to eliminate this from my diet. Like, I need to not eat carbs, or I can't eat during this period of time. So I remember seeking out some help, and I remember talking to different doctors. I remember getting a second opinion from hormone experts. I talked to different nutritionists, and I finally found someone that I just had this really good vibe from, and I sought out a coach. That was back in November of 2024. I hired my coach, and by the way, if you are at all interested in working one-on-one with a coach to help you with not only feeling good physically, but also emotionally and mentally, and just working through like your relationship with food, but also feeling good with your body, again, feel free to reach out to me. My email will be listed down below, and I'm more than happy to share my coach's information with you. I hired my coach, and again, this was in November of 2024. Everything changed for me. I started working on my mindset. I started educating myself around training, how to properly fuel my body for my workouts, how I should be eating, how I should be training. I started really kind of educating myself around this topic. And I also was asking her a lot of questions too, because I remember the very first thing that she had me do was tracking my food through MyFitnessPal. She had me increasing my calories. I obviously went into panic mode and had a lot of anxiety about increasing my calories. Like, am I gonna gain weight? Am I gonna get fat? And this whole phase of just education and research and learning really truly helped me heal my relationship with food, because not only was she so instrumental in helping me understand like the why behind nutrition and the different foods that we're eating and why we're eating this much, it was also reinforcement from like the other sources of education that I was learning from, like the podcasts, learning from Dr. Stacy Sims and her interviews about like understanding the why behind everything and how we should be training, why we should eat before we train. All of these things were so instrumental in helping me to understand all these key concepts and principles around the benefits of reverse dieting, training the way that we're training with intensity and fueling myself properly. And I had never really looked at it from that perspective. I had always come from a perspective of restriction, limiting myself, eliminating certain food groups, and it was a constant binge and restrict cycle. And so I had to like rewire my thoughts in my brain to learning about food as a fuel source. Look at food as like, what are the things that I could be eating and that I should be including in my diet that are gonna help me feel better, that are gonna help me train harder, that are gonna help me build more muscle, that are going to rebalance my hormones. Instead of looking at food as a negative, look at it as positive. Look at things in abundance as opposed to trying to take things away from your diet. So all of those things were so helpful in terms of learning from my coach, learning from Dr. Stacy Sims. And I know I've been sharing a little bit of snippets of my workouts on my channel and my lifting sessions and things like that. I have actually been getting quite a few questions about what I like to train in. Highly recommend checking out this one brand. It's called G4 Free, and I will leave a link to them down below, but they have some amazing, really cute, affordable activewear. I actually discovered them first on Amazon. They have some amazing quality pieces. I absolutely love this brown shirt with a zip. It is so cute and it hits me right at the waist. It's not like super cropped or anything. If you're a short girl like me, it's really hard to find the right size shirts that aren't super long, that aren't super short. So I love the quality of their stuff and it's super affordable. So they've got these stretchy shorts with a drawstring that are so cute, so comfortable. I especially like their long sleeve top as well because I can throw it on any tank in the morning, especially when it's like a little chilly when I'm getting ready to go out to the gym. I love throwing that on and working out in it. Super lightweight, so comfortable. Their skirt with the shorts underneath is so cute. I absolutely love it. It is just so comfortable. So if you're in the market at all for athletic wear or just some really cute athleisure outfits, highly recommend checking G4 Free out. I will leave a link to them down below. Thank you to G4 Free for partnering with me on this portion of the video. I just thought I would share because I do get a lot of questions on my outfits and things that I like to train in. So back on the topic of healing my relationship with food through education, I now know how important and critical it is for my energy levels and my hormones to fuel and to eat something before I train. So now I have my protein iced coffee, which I love, and I leave a link to my protein powder down below. I drink my electrolytes to stay hydrated and to prevent me from getting headaches and migraines. I take my creatine, I take my supplements, I drink a ton of water, And now I know just how important it is to eat enough protein and to eat enough vegetables and get in my fiber. So it's like not even a question for me anymore about, well, what can I take away from my diet? It's more about what can I add to my diet to make me feel better. The next phase of how I was able to kind of heal my relationship with food and have more food freedom was my mindset. I talked about this and touched on it a little bit in the beginning, but I struggled with a lot of kind of food noise, having just like a lot of anxiety around food, around calories, around counting calories. It just came from a place of, I think, not having the confidence in myself and in my body, having like an overall very like negative mindset around my body and my physique. I was constantly critiquing myself. I was constantly like never happy with how I looked. And I think that that just comes from a place of like not loving yourself, because if you love yourself enough, you can appreciate your body and what it's capable of, then you wouldn't be starving it all the time. You wouldn't be fighting it all the time and not feeding it the right types of vitamins and supplements and minerals. I kind of had to shift my perspective. I had to work on my mindset a lot. I've been listening to a lot of daily affirmations, which I have a playlist. If you are interested in my playlist, I can leave a link to it down below. It's nothing special. It's literally just a bunch of morning daily affirmations that I kind of put in a playlist together. I remember earlier this year, I made a promise to myself that I would listen to a daily affirmations every single morning. And it has made such a difference on my mental health. I cannot tell you, the difference is mind-blowing, and I need to get better at it. I kind of slacked, but practicing gratitude and daily affirmations just totally reprogrammed and rewired my brain and my thoughts. And it was no longer about, no, I can't eat that, or no, I can't have that, or I need to eat within this certain window, to yes, my body is capable. Yes, I am strong. Yes, I am beautiful, and I am treating myself right. I am treating my body right with kind words, with positive words, and I'm fueling myself with the right types of foods. I am strong. I am in this world of abundance. Mindset was big, and I feel like we just don't talk enough about mindset. Something so simple, something that is so easy, that doesn't take a lot of time in your day. For me, I threw on my headphones and I listened to positive affirmations for like 7 minutes while I was taking my dogs out for a walk in the morning. Like, it was just so easy. So huge game changer in kind of eliminating food noise, eliminating food anxiety, and just being able to trust my body and trust that I am in the right space. I'm doing all the right things. I am already there. I know it's like so kind of cliche to talk about positive affirmations and gratitude and writing things down in a journal, but truly, like, if you take out just a few minutes of your day, and I like to start in the morning, start reprogramming your brain to thinking these positive thoughts, so much will change for you. Your entire world will change. Give yourself a couple minutes in the morning to do these meditations, and you'll see it's a huge game changer. The next and kind of really important topic that I want to touch on is how macro tracking and weightlifting has truly shaped and formed my relationship with food now. I now have this whole new appreciation for macro tracking. Now, I really feel like macro tracking is not for everyone. I know that some people don't want to track their macros and it can be a little overwhelming, but for me, I feel like I now have such a sense of appreciation, knowledge, and control over the foods that I'm eating. I don't have to be restricting my calories. I know exactly what I need to eat for my protein, carbs, and fat. And I really feel like my current routine has made one of the biggest impacts on my relationship with food and food freedom. I'm also in this phase where it's like super critical to be eating enough, and to be eating enough protein, and to be eating enough fiber. I'm not in my teens anymore where I can be eating 1,000 calories and doing hours of cardio. Like that's just not going to work for my body anymore right now. And I need to be my energy in order to take care of my toddler. So I really had to focus on like the right principles, turn off all the outside noise and the social media, because everybody is in a different point and stage in their life. And for me, and for my age and my hormones and what I know now about my body, and to take care of a toddler plus working, like I need to be able to do all of those things and fueling my body for my workouts. I really had to focus on like the right principles. I turned off my social media. Like I don't have Instagram. I haven't had Instagram for years. And one of the reasons was because it was just, I was spending way too much time. I was wasting time scrolling. I think that's a big one. It's just getting off of social media. Don't compare yourself to others, because you are you, you're unique. You have a different makeup than somebody else, and what may work for someone else may not work for you. So I don't listen to anyone. I don't follow social media. Like I just have my YouTube and that's pretty much it. And I've made this promise to myself, and I told myself that I need to trust this process. I need to trust weightlifting. I need to trust eating enough protein. That's what I've been doing, and it's been working for me. You know, what I used to do 2 years ago, 3 years ago, like that clearly hasn't been serving me. So I really started paying attention to the types of food that I was eating, the types of macronutrients. So far, I feel incredible. I have never had this much muscle on my body. Like maybe pre-pregnancy, I was a smaller version of myself, but I did not have this much muscle. Like I am now seeing more muscle tone and definition in my legs, in my arms, in my abs. I'm trusting myself, I'm trusting my body, and I feel incredible. So the last thing that I want to touch on is I really stopped letting the scale define me. The scale is such a small piece of the puzzle. It's such a tiny piece of the equation. And I used to have such a bad relationship with the scale. If the number was up, I was feeling down and it would ruin my day. If the scale was down, then I was happy and I was on my way. It was just like the scale would just dictate like how I would eat or how I would work out, and it would like either ruin my day or it would put me in a good mood. It was like constantly like fluctuating. And the weight, it was always a constant battle with the scale of like, okay, how can I get the number to go down? If you're working out and you're eating right, you might be building muscle while burning fat, and the scale doesn't show that. Muscle is much denser than fat, and your body can look leaner and tighter, and your clothes could be fitting looser, but the weight could be the same or it could even be higher. The scale totally misses body recomposition. It doesn't show body recomposition entirely. Also, your weight fluctuates daily. We know that as a fact. Like your weight isn't going to be the same every single day. And even eating out, for example, like eating out one meal, you could be eating something that's high in sodium or something that's like very carb heavy, and the scale is going to be up the next day. That doesn't necessarily mean that you've gained fat. It could just be water weight. Just don't use the scale anymore as a measuring tool. Yes, I still weigh myself just to see like the trends, but I don't let it dictate my life anymore. I don't let it dictate my mood. More than anything, what I use to kind of measure my progress is I do progress photos. I look at how I'm looking in the mirror. I take a lot of measurements. I see how my clothes are fitting. And some other things that I've been tracking that the scale doesn't show is how's my sleep? How's my recovery? I am sleeping so much better now. It has been like night and day compared to how I was sleeping last year. I have reduced cravings. Like these are all signs that my body is in like homeostasis. I am feeling better. I'm sleeping better. My mood is better. I don't have sugar cravings. Like my cravings are completely gone for the most part. And these are all signs that I am healthier. Don't let the scale define who you are, define your worth, or define how you're going to eat, how you're going to live your life, how you're going to train. Like just have it there as just like a data point. in the bigger picture. If you stuck around until the end of this video, leave me a comment down below letting me know what's one thing that has helped you with finding food freedom and letting go of that fear of food. I would love to know. So leave me your comment. Thank you guys so much. I hope you found this video somewhat helpful, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.